Last week, I believe what I was talking about was the development and support of open awareness. At least that's what the YouTube channel title says. And we've been working with this for a while now, and I'd like to talk about it again this evening. We've done all of the samatha work that we've done, and we use that quality of mind to bring us into that state of open awareness. That's what we're working with. So the next day, I was working and um, I had a moment of just this seeing of just that quality of mind that is truly open and clear. And then between patients, I went in my room and I wrote this, and it's called An Offering. Uh, Develop the ability to recognize and abide in this center point of stillness and clarity. To be with the moment in this way allows for activity that is based on clear seeing. Catching your reactivity, catching your need to do, to fix, to control, even to heal. This is in the realm of the doer, which is all based on false assumptions. This stillness and clarity abide where the doer doesn't. Go find it there. Recognize this again and again as you move through your day. Offer this to the world. So, develop the ability to recognize and abide in this center point of stillness and clarity. And that's what we've been pointing to, right? That's what we've been pointing to, is bringing that quality of mind into whatever it is that we're doing. I hope you have a sense of those words. The ability to recognize and abide in this state of stillness and clarity. So the stillness is simply non-activity, is not being caught up in activity. There's this center point of clarity, of openness, of watchfulness. So the first step is to recognize it. And the place that we see it is in whatever activity we're doing. In that moment of picking up the teapot, in that moment of shaking a hand, in that moment of sitting down, in that moment of about to speak, that's where it is. I was treating somebody, and they were on the table, and they had a problem. That's why they were there. And something was really jammed up in their low back. And so I had my hand on their low back. They were lying face up. I had my hand on their low back. I was sitting in a chair, and another hand on their leg somewhere, which is kind of what I do. I put my hands on and then uh, try to figure out what the hell to do. And and so it was a moment where I I was working with that, abiding in that state of clarity. I was working with that. Um, But as I sat down, it was like, what am I going to do? And immediately I could see my mind jump in, right? I wanted to help the person. I have protocols. Well, it's this, it's L5, or is it L4? Is it the sacrum? Is it the sacral plexus? Is it circulation? I have all these ideas that you try to ascertain the condition with with your sense of touch and with your knowledge. But that's all fine because that's what I do. But I noticed in that moment there was also an angst, a slight angst in me because I wanted to help them, because I wanted to do something. And instead of just allowing this process, whatever this process is, to move through me, I was adding something extra to it. So my skill set is I'm an acupuncturist, so that's what I do. So I can't very well the person come in the room and not do anything at all, right? Right? If you're a car mechanic, you got to take out the wrench, you know? If you're a writer, I was going to say you have to take out well, let's just say the pen. You have to take out the pen. But is there something as we put the pen to the paper, as we take the wrench to the nut, as we place the acupuncture needle in our hand or our hand on the body, what are we adding extra to the moment that doesn't need to be there? So, in that space of stillness, in that place of clarity, we are being who we are. We're being with what it is we're doing, but there's a part of us that is not that. There's a part of us that's this open clarity. To be with the moment in this way allows for activity that is based on clear seeing. So when we are really in that moment, that's where true action takes place. We know what to do. We have a greater chance of being connected with what's actually taking place because our perception is not so filtered by whatever it is that tends to come up in our mind. Oh, I have to help this person. But can you just sit there with that intention in your heart, with that intention in your head, but you're not adding one's neuroses to it, let's call it. We're not adding any angst to it. Catching your reactivity, catching your need to do, to fix, to control, even to heal. This is the realm of the doer, which is all based on false assumptions anyway. So in my situation, I caught this angst in me of wanting to help, but it wasn't just, it was a sense of angst because that's what I brought to it. It's like, ooh, I better get this right. So catching your reactivity, catching that extra thing that we're adding to the situation. which is taking us away from this still point of openness and clarity. And understand that this still point of openness and clarity is not something that we need to achieve. It's there when we let go. This stillness and clarity abide where the doer doesn't. So we recognize this again and again, and we offer this to the world. This is what we offer to the world. And we open up to this space. We recognize it again and again. That's the work. And when we really start to recognize it, then it really changes the way we feel. There's a lightness because we're not carrying so much around with us all the time. There's a sense of freedom because we're not restricting ourselves. We're not restricting our experience. It's open. And there's a compassion that's there because we are with the other. We are with the other person. We are with the situation in a more intimate way, in a more feeling way. We're with the heart. As opposed to the thought processes, as opposed to the mind. Recognize this again and again as you move through your day. Offer this to the world. So it's pretty simple.